right, Granny, it's time we set some ground rules. If you want to marry my dad, then you're going to have to give me an allowance. I want $2,000 per month, no less. And by the way, this is not a negotiation, this is a demand. If you refuse, then I will not allow you to marry my dad. So, what's it gonna be? I'm sorry, you want how much? $2,000 a month? Tanya, I would love nothing more than to be able to give you that much and more, but I'm afraid that's not going to be possible on my salary. So that's a no, then? Okay, then that settles it. You're not allowed to marry my dad. I knew this was the kind of woman you were from the first time I laid eyes on you. You're planning on quitting your job the second you and my dad get married so you can do nothing all day while he pays all the bills. Well, unfortunately for you, my dad has an attack dog whose job it is to keep away moochers like you. So go ahead and move along, moocher. My dad doesn't need you. Tanya, please. I don't have any intentions of quitting my job after we get married, much less forcing your father to pay all the bills. You're concerned for your father's happiness, and I get that, but you're being very hurtful to me right now. I would appreciate it if you would stop talking about me like that. You want me to stop calling you out for what you are? Then give up on marrying my dad. Could you at least explain to me why you're so opposed to me and your father being together? Gladly. It's simple, really. There's absolutely no benefit for me to have my dad marry an old granny. If he doesn't, not only will I not get a bigger allowance, my dad's gonna have to spend more of his time and money on someone other than me. There is no way I'm gonna let anyone get in between me and my dad. I see you feel very strongly about this. Well, is there anything that I could do or say for you to accept me as a partner for your dad? Are you going senile? I already told you. I want money. $2,000 a month in cash. If you want to marry my dad, then you're going to have to show me some proof that there's something in it for me. My dad's dated a few women since my real mom died, but none of them have been able to clear that hurdle, so I sent them all packing. Yeah, your dad has told me about that before. I can see that you love your dad very much, and I appreciate that. And since you love your dad, surely you want him to be able to find happiness, don't you? Can't you respect your father's decisions and allow him to do what he thinks will make him happy? Yep, there it is, right on schedule. The old, think about your dad's happiness card. How many times have I heard that one before? You adults are all the same, justifying your selfishness with fake empathy. I don't believe that you care about my dad's happiness for 1 second. You're only interested in your happiness. My dad doesn't even make all that much money as things stand. I can't let him marry someone who's only going to make him spend even more than he already does. You're going to college in the fall, aren't you? And you'll be 18 in just a few months? When that happens, you can go out and get your own job, and you can make your own money, buy your own things, and choose your own path in life. Trust me, it's very fulfilling to be able to support yourself. You're a smart young woman, Tanya, and I know you have what it takes to succeed. Oh, you're already moving into insincere flattery? That's a lot quicker than Dad's past girlfriends. You must be really desperate. Okay, let's table this conversation for now, shall we? The truth is, there's something I've been meaning to ask you about. Do you happen to know where my Chanel bag is? The last time I used it, I put it up on the shelf in the living room, but I can't seem to find it. How should I know? It's your bag, isn't it? You should keep better track of your own things. That's your job, not mine. All right. What about my pearl necklace? Have you seen that? That one was a gift from my grandmother right before she passed away. It has a lot of sentimental value to me. And just like my bag, it seems to have vanished into thin air. What are you asking me for? I don't know where your stupid stuff is. It's not like I have any interest in your ugly accessories. You have the fashion sense of a blind, homeless drug addict. That's a very vivid metaphor. But it's just bizarre. Both of those things should still be in the house. There's no reason for them to not be exactly where I last put them, but they've disappeared. I was just wondering if you happen to know where they were, that's all. I didn't mean to offend you. If you were using them for some reason, that's okay too, but I would appreciate it if you would return them. Could you please tell me the truth, Tanya? Oh my God, you suck. Are you actually accusing me of taking your stuff? You don't have any evidence it was me. I'm just saying I know for a fact that those things were somewhere in this house when I last used them. That means that if something has happened to them, it must have been someone in this house that did it. Oh my God, you are accusing me! What do you think my dad would think if he found out that you were calling his daughter a petty thief? I bet he would kick you out on the curb in an instant. You are in big, big trouble now. However, I can be persuaded to keep a secret. I want $1,000 in cash by the end of the day. Tanya, are you serious? Dead serious. You can afford to pay me that much. I'm going to go hang out with my friends this weekend, and I need the money. My dad doesn't know that, though, so we can help each other out. I won't tell Dad that you accused me of stealing, and you won't tell him that I'm going out with my friends. That's fair, isn't it? Why in the world would you need to make a deal like that with me? You're still in high school. What could you possibly need $1,000 for? And why would you keep it a secret from your dad? You're not planning on doing something inappropriate with that money, are you? Shut up, you sicko. I'm just going to have a good old-fashioned normal fun with my friends. Everything costs more now, in case you haven't noticed. One fun night with your friends can easily run upwards of $1,000. That's on the cheap end, if anything. I happen to be actively paying bills and buying groceries right now, so I am aware of how expensive things are. Still, $1,000 for a single night seems far too expensive. Good grief, would you get off my back? What is with you? You're not my mom, so stop pretending like you are. If you ask me any more questions about my private life, I will destroy you. Fine, I'll give you your privacy. However, I won't be funding any of your fun unless I know exactly what's going on. If you need the money, then you can get a job. Like I said, you'll be 18 soon. I'd like you to learn that making money isn't such an easy thing to do. Oh, you are such an obnoxious old granny. Yeah, that settles it. I am never gonna let you marry my dad. Break up with him right now and get out of our lives. I think we need to have a family conference. I'll talk to your father to see when we can all sit down and talk things out. Nancy, I heard the awful news. Some thug broke into the house, right? I'll bet the whole house is a total mess. Hey, wait a second. Today's your wedding day. Oh no, that's so terrible. Boy, you have absolutely terrible luck, huh? Someone broke into our house on the day of the wedding? What is the world coming to when women can't even feel safe in their own homes? Wait a second. Some thug broke into our house? Where did you hear that? Was it from your dad? Yeah, sure, it was from my dad, but that's not important. That's just crazy, isn't it? Oh yeah, and the worst part of all of that is apparently that thug punched you in the face a bunch of times. I bet your face is really messed up right now. You know, it's really unfortunate, but I think you might want to cancel the wedding. I mean, you don't want to have a big black eye and fat lip in your wedding pictures, do you? Hold on, Tanya. Back up a second. My face is fine. All of me is fine. I'm at my parents' house right now. What? What do you mean? I stayed at my parents' house last night, that's all. It was my last night before getting married, so I wanted to spend some time with them. So, yeah, I wasn't at home last night. Wait, but if you weren't home, then who was home? Just your dad, as far as I'm aware. Oh, he did also say something about his brother staying the night, too. But, Tanya, you're sure that someone broke into our house? Did you really hear that from your dad? And, hold on, why did you think I got attacked? Hold on, this is, wait, so you really didn't get beat up last night? No, I'm fine. What's going on, Tanya? I'm confused and also pretty scared. Cole, are you there? I just heard from Tanya and she said there was a break-in at our house. Is that true? She also said you were attacked. What happened? Please, Cole, I'm really scared right now. If you're okay, please send me a text message saying so.
Well, I'd like to say good morning to you, but, considering the circumstances.
Oh, thank goodness. I was afraid for the worst when Tanya texted me.
It's weird, though. How did you hear about this from Tanya? I figured she would be awake at this hour, but I haven't spoken to her about anything yet today, much less the fact that I got beaten up last night.
Wait, what do you mean? Isn't Tanya there at the house with you?
No, she hasn't been here since yesterday morning. She went to school and then went straight from there to her friend's house where she stayed the night. I've been meaning to get in touch with her and let her know, but I haven't had the chance yet. It's been a pretty chaotic morning over here, to say the least.
I'm so confused. None of this makes sense. But there really was a break-in last night, right?
Yeah, and I've got scars all over my face to prove it. That guy really did a number on me. I just looked at a mirror a few minutes ago, and oh boy, I am not a pretty sight right now. I'm really sorry to say this, but I think it might be for the best if we cancel the wedding. My nose is still bleeding, I've got a nasty black eye, and I think one of my teeth is loose. I was just about to head for the hospital when you texted me.
Oh my goodness, Cole! I don't believe this. Are you okay? What am I saying? Of course you're not okay. And don't you worry about the wedding. I will call and let them know what happened as soon as I possibly can. All you need to do is focus on taking care of yourself.
Thanks, Nancy. But really, though, I'm okay. There's no need for you to be worried about me. Things could have been much, much worse. I got lucky. Which, I understand it's pretty ironic for a guy who just got the snot beat out of him to say he got lucky, but you know what I mean, right?
Well, at least your sense of humor is intact.
Yeah, and that's about the only thing on my body that's intact. It's a good thing I've got a decent sense of humor, too, because with my face the way it is, let's just say I'm not going to be passing any modeling auditions for a while.
Okay, enough with the jokes. Just tell me what in the world happened.
Alright, so it's like this. A guy walks into a bar. And by guy, I mean me, and by bar, I mean fist. And by walk, I mean I was in bed.
Cole!
All right, sorry. Well, it's like Tanya said, a guy broke in, or came in anyway. It seems like he had a key. Maybe he found the secret key on the front porch? It was really early in the morning, and at first I thought that it was Tanya coming home, so I didn't think much of it and just went back to sleep. Then the next thing I know, this guy slams open the door to our bedroom and starts wailing on me. He was hitting me basically everywhere, but it seems like he was focusing on my face and stomach.
That's terrifying! How could something like that happen in our neighborhood? Did he steal anything?
If he was looking to steal something, I don't understand why he would walk right past my wallet that was sitting out on the kitchen table. I know it's weird, but I think he was only there to attack me.
But that doesn't make any sense. Do you know of anyone who might want to hurt you, Cole?
No one comes to mind, no. I'd like to think I've never messed up so bad that someone would want to beat the tar out of me for it.
Then who is he and why did he do this?
Yeah, about that. I got a text from Tanya a few seconds ago while we were talking. She's acting really weird. I've got a bad feeling about this whole thing.
A bad feeling? What do you mean?
Is she talking to you right now, too?
Oh, well, yes, she texted me just a few minutes ago. When she told me that happened, I texted you right away.
Okay, and what did she talk to you about?
Let's see. She asked me about the break-in, she asked about my injuries, and she said multiple times that I should cancel the wedding. Wait, Cole, you don't think... Hey, what's going on here? All of a sudden, Dad called me and told me I needed to come home right away. And now I'm locked up in the basement with the guy that broke into our house. Why is this happening to me? And what is my uncle doing here? Well, that's certainly a lot of questions. To start with that last one, I already told you he was going to be there. He stayed there overnight with your dad. Huh? Oh, yeah, you did. But why, though? Well, you were staying at your friend's house and the wedding was going to be today, So your dad and uncle thought they would have one last little boys' night before the big day. I guess they had a good time drinking, eating, and watching the game.
Wait, really? I didn't know he was coming.
Well, considering how little you're at home lately, that's not surprising. You've been staying overnight at your friend's house about 3 or 4 times a week. Which, by the way, is making your dad extremely worried about you.
He's worried about me?
And why wouldn't he be? He's been wanting to talk to you about that and a few other important things for a while, but he was afraid you wouldn't be comfortable talking to him.
What else does he want to talk to me about?
Well, let's come back to that later, shall we? First things first. I'm sure you're probably wondering why you were locked up in the basement.
Well, yeah, why am I stuck in this room with the guy that broke into the house?
The simple explanation is that you get what you pay for. You should have hired someone smarter. Your uncle told me that the second you came in the room, he said, "I'm sorry, Tanya, I screwed up." What did he mean by that, Tanya?
I can explain.
Then go right ahead and explain. I'm waiting. Or perhaps I can save you the time and just come right out with it. You hired him, didn't you?
No, that's not true.
Then how did he know your name? And why would he apologize to you?
I don't know. Maybe there's someone else named Tanya who looks like me and she's the one who hired him.
That ridiculous excuse isn't going to fly with me, Tanya. Your dad has been texting your uncle from the hospital to let him know the details of the attack. So now it's your turn to talk. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It'll be good practice for what's coming.
This cannot be happening.
But it is. It's unfortunate for you that your uncle decided to spend the evening with your dad at the last minute. How many Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu championships has he won now? Was it 8 or 9? Anyway, as soon as he heard the commotion in your dad's room, he rushed in and took the guy out in seconds.
If I had known he was going to be there, I would have done it on a different day. You were supposed to be home. Dad said he was going to go and visit my grandma and grandpa, and they live a couple hours away. Why was he at home instead of you?
Well, the original plan was actually that we would both go and visit our parents. But your dad thought that since this was his second marriage and he would see them today anyway, he didn't need to go out of his way tonight. So he talked to his brother and they came up with the plan for a boys' night.
Why wouldn't he tell me my uncle was coming?
It's not like he was hiding anything from you, you just never asked. Plus, you were at your friend's house last night, so why would he need to tell you?
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Is my dad okay?
Is he okay? Other than the fact that his daughter hired a hitman to assault his wife but assaulted him instead, yeah, he's just fine.
Hey, this isn't my fault.
In what universe is it not your fault? You hired that guy.
Well,
admit it, Tanya. The guy knew who you were, he recognized your face and called you by name. He also apologized for screwing up.
That doesn't prove anything.
Your uncle has everything on camera, you know. He set it up and turned it on immediately after he tied up the guy who attacked your dad. So he knows everything that the two of you have been talking about down there.
Oh no.
Your uncle is a smart guy. I guess he wanted to be a police officer at one point. With more guys like him on the force, people would be too afraid to even jaywalk in this town. So, Tanya, anything to say for yourself?
What was I supposed to do? I had to do something. Otherwise, my dad would have married you. But I didn't want him to marry you. I want a mom with more money. You're too cheap to give me a measly $2,000 a month. I might be willing to deal with it if you were at least pretty or something, but you're not. You're just old. Why should my dad marry you when there are prettier women out there who would be more generous to me? So I had to get you to break up with him.
You really are a selfish girl. You never thought about your dad's happiness for 1 second. All you were thinking about was yourself.
That's not true.
You just said so yourself. Your only criteria for your new mom was whether or not she would throw all the money at you that you demanded of her. You really have no respect at all for how hard it is to make money, do you?
You only say that because you never went to college. People that go to college get to have easy office jobs that pay really well. If you would have just gone to college like a normal person, you would be making more than enough to give me what I want.
Do you actually believe that?
Is that what high school guidance counselors are telling kids these days?
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm going to college, to make more money for doing less work.
Well, I hate to rain on your parade, but you're not going to go to college anymore.
What? What do you mean? Why aren't I going to college?
2 reasons. First of all, because I'm not going to pay for it anymore.
Huh? Wait a second. You were gonna pay for my tuition? But I thought my dad was gonna pay for it.
It's like you said before, Tanya, your dad doesn't make all that much money. And this brings me to one of the other important things your dad wanted to talk to you about. Your dad is sick.
Sick? What do you mean sick? Like, really sick?
We don't know for sure yet just how sick he is, but what's certain is that he'll need to focus on treatment for the foreseeable future. That means he won't be able to work. You accused me of wanting to quit my job once we got married. I'm afraid I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. If I didn't work, then who would pay for your dad's medical expenses?
So that's why you couldn't give me the allowance I wanted?
Honestly, I wouldn't have given you $2,000 a month even if I could, but yeah, that's just not going to happen.
This is so unreal. So what's going to happen to my dad? Is he going to be okay?
Well, the plan was originally for him to go into the hospital for a while so they could run some tests on him after the wedding. Like I said, he was going to tell you about all of this eventually. He didn't tell you yet because he didn't want to make you worry about him.
I can't believe it. My dad's sick? And he's not going to pay for my tuition? But hey, wait a second. You knew about all this. And you were going to get married to him anyway? That means you were signing up to spend basically all your money on my dad and me.
That's right. I had no problem supporting you two. The truth is, I was raised by a single mother after my dad passed away when I was young. She worked so hard over the years to support me, but going to college was never a reality for me. So I had to use all the other skills at my disposal in order to get a job. I found a good company and worked my way up the ladder one rung at a time. Now I'm actually making more money than most college graduates do. I was hoping to be able to use my success to support you, Tanya.
You were willing to do that for me?
You reminded me of myself. I grew up with a single mother, you grew up with a single father. I respected him for how hard he worked for you and wanted to help give you the advantages that I never had.
That's insane, though. Like, what are you, some kind of saint or something? You were willing to marry a guy who you knew was sick and would eat up most of your income, and you were just going to give whatever was left to help someone who's not even your biological daughter to go to college?
Well, I'm glad you've come to appreciate my generosity. Calling me a saint is going a bit too far, though. I'm no saint. I'm not as forgiving as a saint should be. Which brings us back to the main point of the discussion. I'm not going to support your college ambitions anymore.
Why not?
Do you even need to ask me that question? You hired some thug to attack me and injure me badly enough that I would have to cancel our wedding.
Well, yeah, but you're fine, aren't you?
Yeah, thanks to a last-minute change of plans. And while I'm fine, your father most assuredly is not. Even once the scars on his face and body heal, he'll still have to deal with the emotional damage you caused him. No matter which one of us got attacked, we were both going to be hurt. And for what? Because you wanted more money out of your dad's wife?
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I have no idea what I was thinking. Like, I didn't know you were going to do so much to support us.
That's because you see relationships as transactional. What's in it for me isn't something that crossed my mind when I agreed to marry your father.
You're right. You are totally right. I'm sorry for what I did, and I will never do anything to come between you and my dad again. So, please, can you still pay for my college like you planned?
Wow, Tanya, that's quite a change in tone from you. I appreciate your words of apology, but I refuse. Remember, I said there were 2 reasons you can't go to college anymore.
Oh yeah, what's number 2?
I called the police. They're on their way now. And when they get here, they're going to arrest both the thug you hired and you. I've already told the police that you were the one who hired him, and I'm sure he'll be very willing to sell you out to get a plea bargain.
Nancy, please wait. Don't do this. Don't call the cops on me. We're family, aren't we?
Don't bother begging and pleading with me, Tanya. I told you they're already on their way. There's no stopping what's coming to you.
You will be arrested, and depending on the prosecutor's mood, you might even be tried as an adult for what you did. You're a big girl, Tanya. That means you're going to big girl prison.
No! I can't go to prison. I'll never make it in there.
There's an expression we adults use. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. You knew what you did was not just morally wrong, but illegal. You're old enough to face the consequences.
Nancy, I am so sorry. You don't have to pay for my college anymore, okay? Just please don't send me to prison.
Me? Send you to prison? I don't know what you mean. Your actions are what's going to send you to prison. I just called a ride for you.
But you were in my shoes once too, right? You were raised by a single parent.
We were both dealt a bad hand in life, you're right. My solution wasn't to hire a hitman, however.
I've learned my lesson, I swear. I'll never do it again.
I'm not so sure you have, actually. But trust me, you're going to learn your lesson now. Enjoy prison, Tanya. Tanya continued to beg and plead with me after that, but suddenly she stopped sending me messages altogether. I guess that was the moment the police took her into custody. As I expected, Tanya's hitman started singing like a canary as soon as the cops arrived.
It was all her idea. She's the criminal mastermind. I was only doing what she told me.
Really, stupid people shouldn't commit crimes. If he had just shut up and lawyered up, he probably could have gotten a reduced sentence for providing that information. Tanya was still a minor when she hired him for the attack, and when the prosecutor considered her age and family circumstances, he decided against trying her as an adult. She was hit with a fine and a large amount of community service. As for me and Cole, we began our married life without Tanya. After they treated him for his injuries, the hospital started the test to determine the severity of his illness right away. Thanks to that, they were able to discover that the disease was only in its early stages, and Cole made a full recovery. A few years later, we were sitting at home when we heard a knock on our door. We were surprised when we opened it, and who was waiting on the other side but Tanya? We hadn't heard anything from her since the day of the wedding, so we had no idea what she had been up to. We reluctantly allowed her to come inside to talk, and she told us that she had been working her way through college by herself. She said that getting arrested that night was the wake-up call she needed to turn her life around. She even brought me a brand new Chanel bag and pearl necklace to replace the ones she took from me. I'm still unsure about forgiving her, considering how bad Cole's injuries were. But, ever the jokester, Cole said, "Hey, it's not like I was all that handsome before that guy screwed up my face." Tanya called me a saint for offering to support her family, but if you ask me, Cole's big forgiving heart makes him far more of a saint than me.